Have Heart follows a little character, this little duck made up of little building blocks that are like coloured shapes, and he's stuck in a loop. He jumps up to the sky to try and fly away, and he comes crashing back down to Earth again. And I started with this loop because I'm an animator and I make work and I stick it online, and this footage is kind of has this life online, and it's just stuck there. So I thought, what would it be like for that character? What is life like for that character? Perpetually kind of stuck on a social media stream. It must be kind of a bit miserable or challenging. Would you want to get out? So I decided to develop the story from there and show his kind of like him trying to kind of escape it. To talk about our lives online, because it feels like there's a constant clamoring for attention, really, with everyone now, because we're like, all your likes are numbered, and we're supposed to, it's sort of success is sort of like connected to our like online personas and profiles. So I wanted to kind of talk about that and how difficult that is. For a character to talk about it in a broader sense, I guess. As an animation director, I think you have to work with people kind of well and communicate exactly what what you're thinking and what you're feeling and how the character should be. With this production, though, I've kind of done it myself because it's such it was kind of a very personal story. It's very intimate. There was no funding, so I kind of just took it for a ride myself, to be honest, and then worked with sound designers and musicians more than anyone else. Start to finish, it was actually made between, like, I commute for work in Glasgow. I live in Edinburgh, so I go back and forth on the train a lot, and it was kind of made on the commute. So obviously there's not that much time. It's maybe about an hour in between, but I just kind of did it over months and months. So I think it was about a year in all, like from start to finish, the production, made in my spare time. There was no funding. Which isn't always a bad thing, I don't think. The film we made before was funded, and that was great. It's great to be funded, and it brings in a different kind of structure. This had none of that, which lends itself to something a bit more open and a bit more free, and yeah, so it's not all bad not getting funding. In Scotland, we've got such a great kind of group of friends that, they make films. I work with a guy, Ainsley Henderson. We've written and directed stuff together, and we're making a film together. We're making a feature film together now. So he's always kind of there, helping like with story. Obviously, I admire like filmmakers and feature filmmakers and stuff, but I'd say like my peers around in Scotland is where I get like most of my support from and inspiration from. The proudest moment with this film is being able to kind of travel and travel internationally with it, and go to film festivals and kind of speak to people that you never have met before without this film. It's sort of, when you have a film in a festival, you suddenly have this like identity, and you can, it's you're meeting friends, and you're learning. So it's probably the traveling with it. What I learned over the last few years was, I felt like when I started out, and every film I've made, it's all, I felt like what I had to say wasn't important, or it was silly, or it was just like a joke, or with serious touches to it. But I think what I've learned is that what you do have to say, you might not realize it, but it is important, and you should be honest, and and tell a story that's kind of, I don't know, personal to you, and it means a lot to you, and people will understand, and it is worth it, because I think honesty kind of shines through.